Welcome everyone, Deronda here with Foods 101. Today I'm showing you how to make this hummingbird cake. Absolutely spectacular. The ingredients you're going to need is 2 cups of smashed bananas. This is what your bananas need to look like. You want those lovely little brown spots on it. This will ensure that natural, bold, delicious flavor you get when you bite into this hummingbird cake. 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of crushed pineapples in its natural juice. Don't drain your pineapple. 1 cup of chopped pecans, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 3 eggs. I'm going to frost this cake with a cream cheese frosting, and I'll show you how to do that later. I'm using 3 round 9-inch cake pans that I've greased and floured. You also may use a 9 by 13 inch pan to bake this cake in, and I'll leave that up to you. First, let's mix the dry ingredients together. In a medium mixing bowl, we're going to add that flour, the sugar, the cinnamon, baking powder, and salt. With a whisk, we're going to whisk these 5 ingredients around till they're well incorporated. Okay, and that looks absolutely lovely. And now we're going to sit this off to the side. In a larger bowl, I'm whisking those 3 eggs together. And now I'm adding that vegetable oil. Whisk till you get these really well blended. To this, we're going to add the pineapple, the juice and all, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. Make sure you use pure vanilla. It'll make all the difference here in your cake. We're going to add those smashed bananas. I'm going to show you how easy it is to smash these bananas. I've got 2 here that I still need to smash up. I take the back of a fork and just smash it down like this. Now, if you want to put chunks of banana here in your hummingbird cake, you may, but I just love to smash mine into somewhat of a puree. I think it makes a little difference in the taste and the texture of the cake. Blend it well together. For the nuts, I like to add them in with the flour. Toss them around in the flour. Why? Because when your nuts have a little coating of flour, they're less likely to sink to the bottom of your cake while it's baking. And with that dry ingredients, we're just going to stir it around. You can dump it in all at once. Actually, you could even really call this a dump cake if you'd like, because it's just all hand mixed. You don't have to get the mixer out, the KitchenAid. And looky there how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness, and it smells so yummy. I can smell the cinnamon and the bananas and the pineapples. I'm going to start adding the batter into the pan. And I figured there's approximately 9 cups of ingredients in this hummingbird cake. So I'm looking for about 3 cups of batter per baking pan. All right, and I think this is going to work out just absolutely perfectly. These are off to a 350-degree preheated oven on the middle rack for 25 to 30 minutes. Use your timer and no peeking. Got my cakes out of the oven, and boy, does my house smell like almost like banana bread. I'm inserting this toothpick. It comes out clean, so these cakes are well baked. I'm going to let them cool here in the pan for about 5 minutes before I remove them from their pan, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. The pans are a little warm, so be careful. It's been about 5 minutes, and I use just a regular plastic knife. That way it's not going to scratch up your baking pans. And then we're going to give it a little shake. As you can see, you see how it's coming off the bottom there? Now, we're going to pull it here, flip it upside down, just like that, and this should come right out. Voila! There it is, and oh my yums, does it smell delicious? Oh yum! We're gonna let these cool for 30 minutes while I show you how to make that cream cheese frosting. For the cream cheese frosting, we're adding 8 ounces of our cream cheese at room temperature to a large bowl, 1 stick of butter, which is a 1/2 cup, also at room temperature, and a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Just kind of eyeball it. Now you've got to get your mixer out for this, And we're gonna mix this until it's lovely and creamy. And it's looking like this. Now we're going to add 6 cups of powdered sugar very slowly. I like adding 1 cup of that powdered sugar at a time. I start on low speed until I get all that powdered sugar mixed in with that butter and cream cheese and vanilla. If not, you're going to have a powdered sugar shower. It's going to go flying everywhere. So slowly just add 1 cup of sugar at a time. When you get all of your powdered sugar incorporated, then you're going to crank your electric hand mixer up to high. And you're going to whip this for about 3 minutes. So it should be looking like this. And if it gets a little too thick on you, add a little milk or cream. Only 1/2 teaspoon at a time. Because your frosting or your icing here can get very thin on you very quickly. So add your cream or milk just a little bit at a time. This looks absolutely perfect. And now it's time to add the frosting to those 3 layers of cake. I've got my cake platter here. I'm adding my first layer of that hummingbird cake. On top of this, I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of that cream cheese frosting. Now I just go ahead and use a knife to spread this around the top because I feel that it's just as good as anything else. Unless you're baking a lot of them and then you got the twirly whirly thing, you put them on and you spin them like this all the time. Oops, and I forgot one thing. On the bottom here, so your cake will stay on the plate, just add a little dollop of frosting down there and your cake's not gonna slide around. You just wanna make sure your cakes are nicely cooled. You do not want this frosting on a cake that is warm. Make sure it's completely cooled. Bring it all the way over to the edge. Add your next layer. And as you've noticed, I am putting it face up down. The face side up of the cake down towards the platter. About another 1/2 cup of your frosting. And spread it out to the sides. Just like this. Alright, you don't have to go all the way out to the side because when you add that top layer, it's going to mash the frosting all the way to the edge. So you can leave about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the cake. Woo! And that smells so delicious. I just got a big lovely whiff of that banana. Top layer, I like to add the face side up like this. I'm going to first start frosting around the edges of the cake. And to ensure that I don't get frosting on my plate, I'm going to show you a little tip. I cut pieces of parchment paper down like this, and you see how it rolls under? You want to make sure you place that down on your plate and put it under your cake like this. You're going to do this all around your cake. You may have to lift it up a little bit. Sometimes you won't need to. I'm going to begin frosting the edge of my cake. And the idea is to go down and to come up just like this to get a lovely outside layer of frosting on this hummingbird cake. And by the way, I just want to tell you, this cake, so you got the idea there. Go all the way down to the parchment paper and then come up. I've got my edges of my cake frosted. Now, the last thing you want to do is frost the top. So I start off with a dollop of the frosting, and you're going to join it to the side of your frosting here. Simple, easy, basic technique for frosting your cake. And if you see the edge there, you can go back with a little bit more frosting and just cover it up. This is turning out to be absolutely lovely. I'm going to be adding a little bit more over to this side. And of course, bring it over to the edge. And the last place you work is bringing it into the center. You see right there, you have a little showing of your cake. You can just put a little frosting over it like that and cover it up. Oh yeah, it's going to be a beautiful, lovely cake. I've added a little twisty twirling to the top of the cake by just doing this with the knife. I mean, you can do with it whatever you wish. To remove these bottom layers of this parchment paper, clean off your knife. We're going to pull the pieces of parchment paper out from under the cake. We're just going to keep doing it until we get them all out, and see how beautiful and clean that leaves your plate. And you may want to go back and tidy it up just a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is going to be absolutely spectacular. So you get the idea there. Put this in the refrigerator and chill it for 1 hour before I cut into it. That way that cream cheese and that butter will set up. And you'll have a beautifully sliced 3-layer of this hummingbird cake. Add my cake in the refrigerator for 1 hour, and now I'm going to cut into it. I like using a serrated knife. That's a knife with little teeth on it. And we're just going to cut right into it. And then we'll go this way. I can't wait to see what it looks like on the inside. Now, out with this slice of hummingbird cake. And look how scrumptious and delicious that looks. Oh yeah, look at those nuts in it. Put it over here on a plate. Oh yeah. Oh yum. All right, here goes, y'all. Dig in. Up. I can smell those bananas. Oh my. That cream cheese frosting is delicious. Taste the pineapple, the nuts, the cinnamon. This is one fantastic cake any day of the year. But fall is here, and it's perfect with tea, coffee, or milk for the kids. What a fantastic hummingbird cake. It never disappoints. This cake sitting overnight and eating it tomorrow or even the second day is going to be much better, because you have that lovely bananas and pineapples in it that's going to break down and give this cake tremendous flavor. There it is. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Give me thumbs up, leave me a comment, follow me here on YouTube or Instagram. I'll catch you lovely people later.